Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about EBS volume type. As in our previous video, we have discussed about block storages. One is the elastic block storage and one is the instance storage. We have discussed lot of points about the EBS here as well as instance storage. Now next we will discuss about the volume types. EBS volume types. So EBS volume types, three type of disk. One is the SSD, that is a solid state disk. SSD stands for solid state disk. Sorry, spell mistake. Solid state disk. Second one is the HDD, that stands for hard disk drive. And third one is the magnetic. Correct? So mainly three types here. Now under the SSD, one is the general purpose, one is the provision IOPS. Don't worry, I will discuss each. What is the general purpose, what is the provision IOPS, one by one, all in detail. This is just an overview. In hard disks, there is a throughput optimized and cold HDD. And last one is the magnetic. So total 5 type of volumes, EBS volumes. Okay, clear? So now let's move one by one to each. This storage type is suitable for small chunks of data, require fast input outputs, IOPS. So SSD can be used as a root volume. Keep it in mind. Root or boot volume for the EC2 instance. Small chunk of data means blocks. If you remember what is the object storage, that is the SS3. And that is the S3, object storage and block storage. Object storage is the S3, where entire file go in one shot, like a single file. But in the block storage, divide the data into small blocks and then save the data onto the drive. So the block storage, that's why it's saying small chunks of data that require very fast IOPS. Main point to note down, it can be used as a root volume for EC2, but not all, that we will discuss. Like SSD cannot be used as a root volume, but this can be used as a root volume. SSD can be used as a root volume. So first one that I shown you is a general purpose SSD. We come back here. It's a general purpose SSD. So what is the point? Offers a single digit millisecond latency, very fast. IOPS are limited from 3 to 10,000 IOPS. What is the IOPS? Anybody? What is the IOPS? IOPS stand for input, output per second. And one word you will listen, that is throughput. Throughput means Now, what is the difference between the IOPS and throughput? IOPS is the read-write speed onto the disk. How fast it data can be read or can be write on a disk. Clear? How fast we can write data here. That is the IOPS. Throughput. How fast this can go out and can go in from the disk. How fast this data can travel out of the disk and into the disk. IOPS, how fast this data can be written on the disk. Clear? So not so difficult, easy to understand. So IOPS can be 3 IOPS per GB. Keep it in mind. If you have 5 GB drive, then you have 15 IOPS. Can be used as a root volume or boot volume. Naturally, you can install operating system on this general purpose SSD, and volume size can be 1 GB to 16 TB. A general purpose SSD can be of 1 GB to 16 TB. Now I will give you a complete comparison in a chart at the end, where we prefer to use general purpose and other ones. I will give you a complete chart, a complete table. Very simple point. Normally it is the GP2 and GP3. Let us say GP3. By default he was getting GP2. Technical issues. 3 IOPS per GB can go up to 10,000. So if you have 1 GB, so you will get 3 IOPS. So at 10 GB, how much IOPS will have? 30 IOPS per GB. 30 IOPS. But maximum can be 10,000. And size is 1 GB to 16 TB. So it's general purpose. Second, the provisioned IOPS. These SSD are IO intensive workload that require extremely latency or for mission critical application. Because very high input output, very high read write speed, performance we require. As the definition indicating, intensive workload, IO intensive, very high input and output we require. That general purpose, general works, but we require extremely low latency, mission critical applications. For that purpose, we use provisioned IOPS. Okay, user can specify IOPS during creation. So we can, as per my application requirement, even I can mention the IOPS, how much IOPS require. Keep it in mind, as much IOPS you increase, cost increase. That you also have to consider. Size can be 4 TB. Sorry, size can be for TB to 16 TB. Maximum is same. So you are for GB. Okay. And maximum IOPS speed can be up to 32,000 per volume. Can be up to 32,000 per volume. So this is by mistake. It's a GB. It's by mistake. Sorry for that. Okay. So size, your general purpose can be 1 GB to 16 TB. But provisioned IOPS is the 4 GB to 16 TB. 32,000 per volume. Can we go up to some specific condition? Can go up to 64,000 IOPS also. So basically provisioned IOPS is for the mission critical application. We require very high speed. Actually cost is much as compared to general purpose. You can check the costing there. I will show you, try if you got the time, I will try to show you costing also. On the Google documentation you can calculate there. You can check there. I mean one more thing I want to add. Please keep looking at the documentation. Sometimes this number can be changed. Okay. But still I will try to give you latest whatever I can give you. So this is a provisioned IOPS SSD. IO1, IO2. Second is the hard disk drive. Slow processing. Cut the point, na? We don't worry about much of the input output, much of the throughput. Just normal working. I will show you the complete comparison as I told you. So just right now, this storage is suitable for big data, chunks and slow processing. This volume, the main difference is that these volumes cannot be used as a root volume for the EC2. Cannot be used as a root volume. Root volume can be only SSD, and next we are going to discuss about the magnetic. Benefit, storage, because is the cheapest of all the EBS volume types. It is suitable for large, infrequent access data. Data is not frequently accessed, sometimes rarely used, and does not matter about the IOPS, can be little so also. In that case, we will choose the STD. Burst speed can be up to 250 Mbps is throughput, and IOPS can be provisioned up to 250 IOPS per volume. Main thing, cannot be used as a boot volume. It cannot be used as a boot volume. For if you are going for the boot volume or root volume, then that must be SSD or magnetic that we are going to discuss. And volume size can be 500 GB minimum. Because naturally we use this hard disk for the data saving, for long big data. So minimum size this is, it should be of 500 GB. And maximum is same for all except magnetic. Next is throughput optimized. Suitable for large, frequently accessed data. Burst speed is also more, 500 Mbps to 250 Mbps to 500 Mbps. This also cannot be as a boot volume, and size can be same, 500 GB to 16 TB. That is the cold STD, and this is the throughput optimized. So cold STD was for the infrequent access data and the cheapest. Throughput optimized, suitable for frequently accessed data, large data, okay, but little costly as compared to cold STD. But this also cannot be as a boot volume. Size is same as the cold STD, 500 GB to 16 TB. I think got the difference now between throughput optimized and cold STD. infrequent access cold STD, frequent access throughput optimized STD. Last one, the infrequent, most commonly not used nowadays, but still available. Very first standard that come with the STD is a magnetic standard. After that, as the speed increase, require more throughput, require more IO, then STD come. Very first was the magnetic. That very first come with the EC2. Same thing, used for less frequently and infrequent access data. Lowest cost, even less than the cold STD. But only the thing that is a positive, the magnetic can be used as a boot value. Magnetic can be used as a boot value. Size is 1 GB to 1 TB only. All other have the maximum size limit of 16 TB, but magnetic have the limitation of 1 TB. Maximum size can be 1 TB. Clear? So I have already discussed all these things. General purpose volume that are balanced, price and performance for the wide variety of workloads. Provisioned IOPS highest performance volume for mission critical low latency, high throughput workload. Recommended for most workloads. General purpose you can say. Critical business application that require sustained IOPS. Large database workloads. As I told you in the beginning, I will show you the complete difference with the help of a table also, so that you can easily compare. Throughput optimized cold STD, low cost, volume designed for frequently accessed throughput intensive workload. Cold STD, less frequently accessed workload. Where it's used, streaming workload, big data, data warehouse, low processing, but cannot be used as a boot volume. Cold STD, infrequent access, scenario where the lowest cost is important, where cost is matter, and but this also cannot be used as a boot volume. I have already discussed, I need to repeat it again. Okay, so this was the difference types of volumes, SSD, SDD, magnetic. We have discussed one by one all. Okay, so in next video, first I will show you the practical of demonstration of that, where and how we get these options, and after that we will discuss some more points about that. Okay, so thank you very much. Please keep watching, like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you very much.